Welcome to the Digital Certificate YouTube presentation. Digital certificates are electronic certifications that can be printed or shared digitally. Each certification is coded and tied to a specific person and course. Participants can access their certificates from the link in the email, or by visiting the Get Certificate website, or by calling the TSC. Employers can verify certification through the website or from the QR code on the certificate. Digital certificates can be printed in 8.5 by 11 or wallet size. If a student loses their certificate, they can retrieve it through the web or by calling the TSC. Scanning the QR code is one method of confirming a student's certification. The QR code is highlighted at the right bottom corner of the page. No email, the student will still be able to get their certification. Tell students to leave the space for the email blank. All they'll have to do is provide their first name, last name, the zip code, and date of the class. This is what our customer sees when they log on to the digital certificate site. They're able to choose multiple options. They can print or save the file and even share their success via social media. If your customer clicks on Request Wallet Size, they will be shown this page, and they would fill in their mailing information, and the TSC will actually mail them a wallet size card. Digital certificates for community classes are automatically generated when a class is closed in the system. Instructors should give each student a flyer or card with information on how to get their certificate. If they don't receive the automated email, they will need the zip code from the location of the class and the date of the class. Instructors should write this information down on the flyer or card that they provide to the students. Instructors should ask students to sign in and verify any information on the course roster. If there's missing contact information like an email address, the student should be asked to provide it. All changes should be clearly noted on the course roster and reported during the after-class call to the TSC. If the student only stays for or passes some components, the instructor needs to explain this on the course record and report it during the call to the TSC. For example, they figure out they only need adult CPR AED and don't stay for the first aid portion that they signed up for. If that's the case, it should be noted on the record so that the certification can be changed to reflect what the student actually passed. Digital certificates, some students may request a card immediately after class. Maybe they waited till the last day and they need it for their employer. Most locations or instructors should have pre-printed cards available so that you can issue a temporary certificate. As the instructor, you just fill in the name, the student name, the date of the class, and sign the back. How do you make sure that your students get their digital certs right away? You need to call the TSC, the Training Support Center, within 2 hours of your class ending. If the TSC is already closed, you can call the next morning. Currently, the TSC is open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. They're open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday and from 10 to 6 on Sunday. These hours are subject to change, but they give you a general idea of the times that you can call and when you might have to wait until the next morning. All instructors should have a copy of the community course record call-in script. It gives you a step-by-step process for closing your community class record. Ask your training specialist for a copy if you don't have one. It's a great thing to put in the very front of your manual and follow through the steps so that you can close the class within the 2-hour time frame. Very important. There are certain things that you need to note on the roster before you send it in to your service delivery admin. You need the TSC agent's name that you spoke with and the confirmation code. You need the date and the time of your call. Any participants that were not pre-registered should be put on a separate addendum sheet and sent to your SD admin for processing. You will only be able to close out community classes for participants that are already registered. That includes participants that you directed to register at the TSC during, before, or after class. If they registered successfully on the day of the course, they will be eligible to get their digital cert at the end of the course. If you have participants on the roster that were not able to complete the registration with the TSC, do not give their information to the agent at the end of class call. They will be handled in a separate manner by the SD admin. We don't turn students away unless we're not able to accommodate them due to classroom size, lack of materials, or we are significantly over the student-instructor ratio. You should, if you have the space and can admit the student, you should record the name and all contact information on a separate addendum sheet and ask the student to register with the TSC either before, during, or after class. Advise unregistered students to call the TSC before class, during a break, or right after class to complete their registration. If a student says they're registered but don't appear on the roster, ask for an order number or advise them to call the TSC for confirmation. They are always welcome to stay, but getting them registered before you call in the record ensures that they will get their certificate in a timely manner. The course record with any unregistered participants clearly marked should be sent to your service delivery admin within 24 hours. The TSC will contact them to process their registration, collect payment, and then they will receive their digital certificate, usually within 2 to 4 business days, depending on how long it takes to contact the student and resolve the registration. The TSC will follow up with the participant until the registration can be confirmed. Exceptions. The following courses are not called into the TSC. Instructor classes, citizen CPR leader classes, and full service classes are all processed differently. Instructor classes are not called into the TSC. The course record and copies of the signed Code of Conduct form should be sent to your SD admin and your training specialist within 24 hours of the end of the class. Certificates should be available 2 to 4 days after the class. Full service course record processing. The instructor submits the final course record to the SD admin within 24 hours. A digital certificate will be available to the participants within 2 to 4 business days, depending on their payment method. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer. To accommodate any misspellings of names or participants that only stayed for certain components, instructors should note all of those changes on the course record clearly and legibly so that those can be incorporated before the course record gets processed in the system. Full service classes are not called into the TSC. Full-service digital certifications work in much the same way, however the time frame is slightly longer. You should still issue information sheets to the participants with directions on how to access their digital certificate. The client may request that a certification card be distributed on-site the day of the class. In that case, logistics or the SD admin will provide the cards prior to the class. You might have to fill in the name, date, and sign the back of the card. Full-service instructors should always carry some blanks in case a student requests one the day of class. I want to thank you for watching this presentation. It is available for download right on this YouTube site, and it's also available in the instructor library on SharePoint. If you have questions, please reach out to your training specialist or a mentoring instructor. Thanks again, and have a great day.